Good evening, everybody, or anybody. I'm not even sure I've got an audience out there yet tonight. Welcome to Tech Talk Thursdays. Uh, Tonight, I was going to talk a little bit about Crowdcast, um, the new up and coming platform for holding Hangouts, and also maybe talk a little bit about the format of a show that I'm planning on doing, possibly, depending on whether there's a real demand for it or not. As you can see, I'm here by myself right now. As far as I know, there's nobody out in the audience. I've got a split screen. I've got the HOA here. I've got the event page over there so I can see comments, as I don't deal with comment tracker. Um, so I'll get to it. Comcast. Not Comcast. My opinion about Comcast is not the same as Crowdcast. Crowdcast. It's neat. It's got some excellent features for it. There are several specific use cases for it I can see right off the bat, and I'm probably going to be doing one of them. I particularly like the question and answer part. They have got that part nailed much, much, much better than Google's Q&A app, because it doesn't take over the whole screen. It stays down there. You can see the questions. You can also see which ones have been answered because they switch to another tab, which is really cool because if you ask a question and go away and come back, you don't see a question on where it was, well, then the odds are it's probably been answered. Go over and check on the answer page. Something I found out today while playing with it, and it's really neat, is because it's sort of like Business Hangouts. You can get into it ahead of time, or Google Hangouts with the event page. You can get into it ahead of time and leave comments and ask questions and everything. You don't have to start a Hangout to answer those questions if you answer it in a comment under the questions. Now they have a thing you can comment on the question itself under the question things, and that's outside of the chat box that's on the right. And if you type an answer to the question as a comment, it also switches to the answer page. So in effect, you can set up a crowdcast event, have your comments, have your questions, have people commenting on the questions and answering the questions, and it moving to the answer page, and all that going on, and never go live with it, and it will be ongoing. I just went back today, and one that I set up a month ago, I went in and left comments for and watched it switch from the question page to the answer page. So you could use it as an evergreen thing. People post their questions, you post the answer to it, it's there. And what's really neat is if you are on either the questions or on the answers, you can do the control F for find and use the Windows find thing. And anywhere in any of those questions that have been answered, if the word you're looking for is there, of course, it'll highlight them. So it's real easy to find anything that's been answered, like this thing that I did today. I answered a month ago, put the question up a month ago. I go in, I answer it today. Somebody comes in another month from now and they know that I answered it, but they're not sure exactly where on the list it is. They just type in whatever word the question was about and it'll pick, makes it real easy to find. Uh, and that ties in with the new show that I am planning to do. If there's enough demand for it, and I've got a posting in the community asking what day and what time zone every member lives in, if they choose to reply, and that will determine the day and time that this new show is held because I want it convenient for as many people as possible. It will be recorded so you can go back to it, but I'd like as many live people there as possible. And I will run it. It'll be 30 minutes, and it will be strictly a question and answer type almost like a call-in help desk radio show type thing. If you got a question about business hangouts, put it in there. I'll open it a week ahead of time. Um, the questions, don't bother upvoting them or anything because I won't pay attention to that. I will take them in the order that they are left in. That I feel that's only fair because I know it's nice to answer the questions most people want to know about. But the only thing wrong with that is somebody can ask a very good question, an interesting question that pertains to only a particular, use case or something. And it's a good question, needs answered, but it never gets upvoted to where, it comes to the host's attention. So I'm going to take them straight in order. Now that they've got the ability to leave a comment, the only problem is leaving a comment switches it to the answered side. So even though people could comment on the questions that are asked, I probably will ask that people don't comment on them until I provide an answer, and then they'll switch to the answered page, and then everybody else can go to the answer page. And if they've got a comment that's pertinent to that, they can leave it there rather than leave it in the general chat thing on the side. The general chat thing on the side is it's nice for leaving comments and everything, and I understand eventually it will be timestamped to take you to the place in the video if you ever actually start one. The 30-minute shows that I'm planning will be recorded, so you can go back and they'll have the timestamp for both the comment and the answers. Uh, Depending on how several things work out. Like I say, this came up between last night and tonight about the idea of doing the thing, so I'm fleshing it out. If the show probably won't get started until late September and maybe even October, depending on how things develop. Yeah. And I'm just sitting here, just watching. Apparently, if anybody is out there listening to me and wants to join me in the film strip, please type a comment. In the comments on the event page, let me know you're out there, and I'll send you an invite. Come in. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and keep blabbering to myself. And that's a shame because it says I have two viewers, and I'll bet I am one of them, and probably Mr. Michael Daniels is the other. I believe he's watching on mobile. He is on his way to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, to watch the South Carolina Little League team play in the World Series uh, tournament up there. They play their first game, I believe, is tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern. I have got an event page for it. I may do a running commentary on the score or whatever. I will be watching it on TV. Uh, so that's basically what I was going to cover tonight. I was hoping somebody would show up to keep me company, but as they haven't, um, Michael, it looks like it's just you and I. And so, unless you've got any questions you want to type in and answer, you know, uh, I honestly don't know what to say. Like, kind of. Oh wait, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? I like to attend your meeting tonight, but I need to teach my own class in 14 minutes. Ted Sarantos. Uh, okay. I need to let him know. There is no office hours tomorrow. They are on holiday, but I'll send him a message about that later. Uh, so unless somebody's got something to talk about, I'll just start bouncing stuff off. Um, like I said, I'm pleased with Crowdcast. It's done some things right. I don't like all the clickiness of it. Uh, the Q&A, like I said, they pretty much nailed it, except they could do away with one click, and once the question is answered, show the answer right under the question instead of having to click to go to a separate page. That would be one of my suggestions. Uh, I mean, for the people viewing, it may not make that much of a difference, but for a host, it's sort of clicky. You know, I don't want things buried under clicks. I want everything out where I've got it. I can see everything at one time. You know, if I want to see the comments that people are making, and I'm in the Q&A, I don't want to have to go up to that side thing and click a bubble. I want to see them down the side. You know, but if you like in a Hangout, you've got your video here, you've got your Q&A here. Yeah. If you get rid of film strip, it switches around. If you close the window, it's just, there's just things that you have to click on that I would prefer to be upfront, even, and everybody pretty well knows this about me, even though it inhibits the mobile stuff. Okay. I have a thing. I know the world is going mobile. They want everything to display. They want, the whole thing so it shifts around and looks good on all things and everything. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. You can't put everything on a 4 by 6 screen. And I see no reason for desktop suffers users to have to suffer just to please the mobile crowd. You know, if the mobile crowd needs to get 3 clicks to go somewhere, then they have a choice. They either get rid of their phone and use a real laptop or desktop, particularly when it comes to Hangouts. I mean, come on. If the Hangout is important enough that you have to attend it live, then it's important enough that you be on a laptop or a desktop. You don't want to be at an important hangout in the back seat of a cab watching this little screen going crazy. And yeah, I know I probably shouldn't be ranting live like this, but it's getting to me. Okay, I'm old. I'm cranky. I'm willing to keep up with the new stuff, although I own no mobile devices and probably never will. No, but I try and keep up, and I agree that the mobile landscape can be improved, but I don't see why it has to be improved at the cost of the laptop and the desktop users. We've got the real estate, we've got the screen space. Let us take advantage of it. There is no reason that everything has to look the same on everything. It just there isn't. Of course, we've been fighting this battle since the first computer screen became active, but yeah, that's the way it goes. Anyway, um, I'm still not seeing any comments out in the film strip or anything. Why is this not happening? What's happening over here with the screen? If you go live, I'll go mobile. That's interesting. I'm not seeing comments there. Oh, they're commenting on the post out in the community rather than on the event page itself. That's where Ted is doing it. Okay, I'll get over there later. Um, so it is now approaching. What time is it? It is approaching 7. I've been here a whole 17 minutes. 17 minutes. I've got a long time to kill. In broadcasting, they hate dead air, and I do too. But you may wind up with a bunch of it. Uh, as nobody has shown up, and it is 17 minutes, and I have what it says two viewers. What happens if I click the two viewers? Does it tell me two viewers? No, it doesn't tell me who the two viewers are. I didn't think it did. But I don't know what else to say. I'm used to somebody here so we can bounce stuff back and forth. I'm not good at monologues. Uh, I mean, unless I'm really up on my soapbox preaching against something, and I don't want to do that, although I did a little bit of it already. Uh, but that's just me. But I would like in the community, if anybody ever watches this and sees it and hears it, some feedback about the plan show, what they think of a 30-minute Q&A thing. I'd also like to ask for some feedback. As you know, I have changed how the daily summary is being done. Originally, it was just the pictures across the top, and that we, these HOAs are happening today, and that's it. So then I did a thing with actually made an event page for them, put the links to the actual HOAs in the detail thing. Well, that was well and good, except you had to scroll so far down the detail thing. But it left this big gray patch, where the comments go on the event page because I wasn't allowing comments because there's no reason to comment on the event page that's about other hangouts on air. If you have comments about those hangouts on air, those comments should be left on that hangout on air's page. So I looked at it again, and now what I'm doing is I have the pictures across the top. I have the links as one long comment to begin with to balance that side, and then you've got the time, which I start. It's hard to set an event time for that page because it covers all the hangouts that day. So I start the event 1 hour before the first hangout. I end the event 1 hour after the last scheduled hangout. So it's depending on how early or late the first and last ones start as to what the time range on the event is. And I do that so that it'll always be on the open event, like when somebody checks on the event, that it's open because if you've got a thing that's happening at 2 in the afternoon, you don't want me setting the time from 9 a.m. to 12 because then after 12, it moves to past hangouts, not current hangouts. And your hangout is still current. So I want to keep that HOA event page open until the last hangout ends. And so the time will fluctuate, of course, that. And there is really no reason to add that page, that event page for all the hangouts for that day. There's no reason to add that to anybody's calendar. So when they can click on the actual event and add that event to their calendar, because if they add the daily summary event page to their calendar and it runs from 9 in the morning to 10 at night, it's going to show that whole strip of yellow or whatever color you have it, you know, between those times. So my advice would be don't add the daily summary event page to your calendar. Check the links contained within it and mark those events that you want to put on your calendar rather than the whole event page. It'll keep your calendar a lot less cluttered. Now, if you want to do it just so you know what events were held every day so that you can go back and look, I mean, that's your choice. But, you know, I'm just thinking how crazy it would be if every day, pretty soon all you're going to get is a solid color yellow with all these little boxes in between. It's not going to be attractive, and you'll probably have trouble finding stuff too. Um, am I grasping for straws here for stuff to talk about? You bet. Yeah, I'm not. No, like I say, I'm not good at monologues. And this may be the first 30-minute Tech Talk Thursday we've had, you know, uh, because it is now managed to knock off another 5 whole minutes. You know, this could get maybe entertaining for you who are going to watch this later, but it is sheer agony for me at the moment. I may get out a phone book and read it just to entertain you. Uh, I don't have a whole lot more to say, really. Um, I do wish more people had attended, um, but they can always watch the replay. I've said what I had to say about, Crowdcast, about the new plan show, uh, and the New Daily Summary. There are postings about the new show and about the New Daily Summary in the community. If anybody wants to post on them, just go on over to user live community, and if you're not a member, join us, and you can comment to your heart's content about that or most anything else. Uh, we're there almost any time. If you've got a question, type it in. Somebody will answer it. If you need help, type what help you need. Don't just ask is somebody available for help, okay? Because that doesn't help anybody, including whoever's asking for help. If you need help with something, specify what you need help with. Because otherwise, if you just say, can somebody help me? Well, nobody knows whether they can help you or not until they know what you need help with. I may be able to help somebody, with Business Hangout or with Crowdcast or even, Google Hangout. But if what they're getting ready to ask for help for is comment tracker, there's no need at all for me to respond. Because I don't do comment tracker, I'm not that familiar with it, I would not be able to help them. If you're looking for help, you want somebody that knows the subject that you need help with, so it's best to state that subject when you're asking for it. Then the people that can help you will probably respond quickly. And you won't be bothered with a lot of people saying, "Yeah, I can help," and then you say, "Well, I need help with the comment tracker," and then they reply, "Oh, I don't know that." You know, so you've wasted all that time when you could have been talking to somebody who could really have helped you. It's just one of those hints about postings in general. Always, if you can, state a specific subject in your first line that gets people's attention. Um, I guess I could give other clues about postings like that, but that's the big one. Yeah. If you want to get somebody's attention about something, mention it. You might even want to put an asterisk before and after whatever it is you need help with because that bolds it. That makes it stand out from the regular type. Um, there are a few other formatting things, like if you put an asterisk and an underline right before the word and right after the word, you put a line asterisk, it will make it highlighted in bold italic, which makes it even stand out more. But if you've got questions about formatting text like that, ask it in the community. The tricks are there. We can tell you. Uh, in fact, if you got a question about almost anything, we can either answer it or we can tell you who to go to find the answers. We know people who know people, type thing. And it works pretty well. We're closing on 400 members, and that's not bad. We started in January of 14, so that's what? That's right, 20 months. 400 members. I'll take that. That's a nice growth rate. I personally don't want to see the community get up to 5,000 or so because then it becomes less personalized. It Your participation rate drops. I like people come and say. I mean, I don't mind them joining the community just to get a question answered. Uh, One thing that I wish Google would do is if somebody leaves your community, they would notify the owner and moderators of who left the community. They don't. All of a sudden you just sign on one day and you notice your community dropped by 3 people. Well, unless you had a list of people before and checked the current list against that, there's no way for you to know who did it. So that's hard to do. Once a month, not once a month, once a quarter, I do take a quarterly survey. I've got a list saved from June the 30th, and then at the end of the quarter, I'll do another list and I'll compare the members down to see who's still here, who dropped out, and who joined during the quarter. Uh, it's just something I like to keep track of, but it always bothers me when I see a drop of one or two members, and you wonder, well, who was it? You know, especially if it was somebody that had joined the community, never posted about anything, never plus one. They were just there. They were lurking. Uh, and you wonder, did they leave because they weren't getting what they wanted? Did they leave because they got what they wanted and were satisfied, and that's all they wanted out of the community, and left? So, it's as a community owner, you want to know these things so you can try and improve things. And as you probably noticed, I'm trying to figure out ways to help community members not only learn to use the platform Google Hangouts or Business Hangouts, and will probably take on Crowdcast. Uh, but other, you need help with Pixlr, you need help with one of the other apps. We're going there, and I also want to help members promote what they are using their Hangouts for. If you run a weekly cancer coaching thing, and you're running it on your website, you know, let me know that. Give me the date and give me the date by midnight of the day before the event to give me time to get it into my daily summary. I have had occasion, in fact, today happened. There were two events that were held today by members, but they didn't post the event until today. I do my postings for the events right at like tonight, right after midnight. I look at the event being held tomorrow. Those are the ones that will get into the daily summary. If somebody posts an event that they're doing tomorrow and they post it at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, that's going to be way too late to make the daily summary. I mean, and it's fine if they post that event in the members hosted section of user to user, but it doesn't get into the daily summary at the top, And I do know a lot of people do check that. I've had people tell me how much they appreciate it, and it's not that difficult to do, really. It may take you 15, 20 minutes. Um, the daily posting of the videos of the members the day before that they upload to YouTube over on the blog thing that I do. I do that right after I do the daily summaries every night. That doesn't take a lot of time, depending on how many videos you have. The other day I had 36, but then by when I actually started posting them over, it seems that a lot of them had been practice videos that somebody had uploaded and been removed because when I went to get the share link, it said, "Whoops, it ain't here." So I didn't have to transfer 36. Wound up, I only had to transfer 9 out of 36. So somebody was doing a lot of practicing about something. But yeah, it's just various things like that. And we are now at what time did that say that was? Oh, it is now 7:31. I've been here 31 minutes. 31 minutes eating airtime and probably boring you to death, Michael. Or am I keeping you awake while you're driving? I'd love to know where you are. How much further you go. Let's see. You said you were going to leave at 9 o'clock this morning, and that it was a 12-hour trip. So that means 9 p.m. in Williamsport. So that means you're an hour and a half. Hopefully, you're an hour and a half out of Williamsport. If you left on time, I don't know that you did, but that's something I'll find out later, I suppose. Um, and I'm just about out of gas by myself. So, Michael, I will wish you a continued journey. I am going to close out this broadcast and I am going to probably close out the Hangout with it. I may come back later tonight for a nightly chat session if somebody, wants to chat. You know, they're perfectly welcome to ping me and we can talk or whatever. but I'm getting dry of mouth and getting winded just talking by myself. So I will bid you all a fond adieu, Michael. I wish you a safe continued trip, and I will talk at you tomorrow about your Little League because I'm going to be watching and commenting on the event page that I set up. Good night, everybody.